Hey guys, and welcome to our at-home DIY facial night. For whatever reason why you're here, whether you are stuck at home because of the quarantine or you are just having like a girls' night and you want something to do, this is definitely the fun video for you about a DIY facial right in the comfort of your own home with all of the supplies that you need. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a checklist of everything that I'm gonna be including within the facial. But to give you a start, so the first thing that we're gonna do is cleanse. So I'm featuring our Donkey Milk soap and also our cream cleanser, which I'll talk about. And then the next thing that we're gonna do is a mask. I am gonna be using our Rose Clay face mask. Then we're going to be, I love this guy right here, the cleansing scrub. I'm gonna talk about that. Then we're going to rinse, and sometimes if you want to, you can wash again. And then we're gonna use a toner. And then we're gonna use the face oil for anti-aging. And then we're going to close out with the Renewal Face Moisturizer. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want you to do is go off, get yourself something to drink, put on some tunes, just enjoy yourself, relax, and let's go ahead and get started. Traditionally, you're going to cleanse your face first. I haven't done anything yet. I'm not wearing any makeup today, so this is my blank skin right here. The first thing that we're gonna do is wash. And so traditionally, I'm gonna use a bar soap, which is what we offer at Wildflower Beauty by Jessica. They're actually way better and way different than the bar soaps you would think at the grocery store or wherever. So definitely don't knock it till you try it. We've had so many people convert from their traditional foaming cleanser over to a bar soap. So that's what I'm gonna use today. And then halfway through the routine, after I do the mask, I'm going to utilize the cream cleanser, which when I do that, I'll talk about that product and why it's so amazing to include every now and then into your regular routine. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Donkey Milk soap is my absolute favorite, guys. It's so hydrating. It is so high in fat. And basically what it's doing is it's just gonna rebuild all of the cells right there on your skin with all of that fat from the donkey milk. Now the reason donkey milk over like a goat milk is donkey milk actually contains retinol, which is the anti-aging protein, but it's chemical free. So when you go to the store and you're like, anti-aging with retinol, that's all chemical based, and that's actually causing more damage to your skin than good. And so using the Donkey Milk soap with retinol in it is the natural retinol protein. So you're getting the anti-aging component, you're getting the high fat rebuild of the cell structure and the cell wall, and you're getting a cleanse. So let's go ahead and start with that. So what you're gonna wanna do is get some warm water coming. You don't want it to be too hot. You want to get it nice and warm so that it's not scorching, and a clean washcloth to use. Okay, so one of the reasons why people aren't crazy about bar soaps is because they feel like they can really burn your face or the lather stings. Well, I'm not gonna lie, if you get these soaps in your eyes, it does burn a lot of the times, and the reason is because a tearless factor in a soap or a cleanser is actually a chemical additive. So because ours are chemical free, so if you get it in your eyes, it's gonna burn. So you're gonna massage gently into your skin for about a minute. Traditionally when you're washing, you don't have to do it that long, but honestly, to get a really good cleanse and removal of dirt and oil and things like that from the pores, you're gonna wanna do it for at least a minute. Another thing I wanted to show is a cleansing brush. I use the Clarisonic Zamia 2. There's a lot of different versions, but I have been using this for probably 10 years now. Like this one for 10 years, and so it was definitely worth the investment for me. And then you just change out the brush head. I believe it's every 3 months. Every 3 months, guys, I think you're supposed to. Probably more often than I do. When you lather your face, immediately you want to start using this. So let me go ahead and get it wet. And you rub in a circular motion. Okay, so after you wash, you're gonna pat your skin dry so that it's not dripping, but you wanna leave it a little bit damp. And typically, when you use a cleansing brush, every brush is different. So I don't know if you use a different brand, but the Clarisonic, it's on a timer and you're supposed to do each zone for a certain number of seconds. And then it kind of does like an extra vibration when it tells you to move to the next zone. So that way you're getting your forehead and your T-zone, your cheeks, and then your chin and jawline all within an appropriate time frame for that specific area. So it's actually pretty technologically advanced, and it makes sure that you are not over cleansing and over brushing and things like that. So I really like that. It's a nice addition. It helps shake up all the dirt and grime underneath. I have very, very dry and sensitive skin, so I purchased a sensitive skin brush head, and I can only use that maybe twice a week, but I really find that if I use it more than that, I start to get really dry, and that's just because I have extremely sensitive skin. So, next we're gonna move on to our face mask. I decided to go with the Rose Clay face mask, but I have a couple different options through the website. And also what I wanted to share with you guys is I offer them in these tiny little packets. They're super cute and they're good for a couple, 2 to 3 uses or so. That way you can try a couple different kinds, but they're really stinking adorable. And all of my face masks come in a sample pack. So if you wanna try them, you can. If you wanna get all 3 together, you get a discount as well. So that's a good way to try the different ones. The Rose Clay mask is really good for sensitive skin. It's good as an anti-aging mask. It helps rejuvenate the skin. And so after I put this on, I'm gonna let it soak, let it dry, and then once I wash it off, you're gonna probably see that my face has a lot more like a reddish glow to it. And the Rose Clay actually stimulates blood flow. So wherever the clay is, it draws blood to that area, which is so good for those cells right underneath the skin. It's just like boosting, like think about it when you work out and you just kind of feel like the heat running through your body, like you start to get that feeling in your face, and it's so really, oh, it's so good for your skin to get that extra boost. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that. Okay, so I actually do it the lazy way, guys. I make the paste right in my hand and I use a brush. So I'm gonna go ahead, remember my face is a little bit damp. I'm actually gonna get it a little more damp than it is right now because I've been mixing this and talking to you guys. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of water. You wanna make it feel like you just walk through like a mist. And then you're going to apply. I'm gonna do it fairly quickly. I like to start with the areas like around my nose that really need more attention first. Just as a tip, because you can apply it a little bit thicker and not really sit there any longer than if you did it as thin as the rest of your face. And the key is just to get this evenly applied. I'm gonna need to make a little bit more. You guys remember that game, Mortal Kombat, from back in the day? I feel like I have that mask on right now. I probably just aged myself big time. So the reason I like to make it in my hand instead of in the jar is because these are preservative free, guys. So if you add water, you're gonna wanna use the whole entire contents in 2 to 3 days. And this is just way too much mask in the 2-ounce jar that I showed you. That lasts you months. And so if you mix the water right in the jar, you're gonna waste it. So if you don't wanna use it in your hand, that's totally understandable and totally fine, but you're gonna wanna use a separate bowl. See, it's already starting to dry. And I love it because you can see, like right here and here are where I have trouble areas with my pores. It's been that way since as long as I can remember. And also I have some food allergies, and when I eat certain foods that I'm not supposed to eat and I eat them anyways, like sugary foods or whatever, I actually get breakouts right here at my temples. And so I like to coat that area more because it's more of a preventative measure. I definitely am not perfect when it comes to dieting or eating the right foods. So just the same, like if you know hormonally every month you're gonna break out in a certain area, even though maybe you're clear at that moment, maybe you do those areas. A lot of people get them on their jawline or chin. Do those areas heavier, even if you're clear at that moment, so that you're kind of doing a preventative measure so that when that time of the month does come, that area has less dirt, grime, and buildup and less likely to be more inflamed or to have a breakout at that moment. So, all right, so basically you're gonna let this sit. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to dry. So in the meantime, drink your drink, paint your nails, do whatever, listen to music, close your eyes, deep breath, relax, and enjoy 10 to 15 minutes relaxation. I'll be back. I'm going to show you how it's going to dry. So you see right here how those has little dots? So that's actually wet clay inside of my pores, and it's taking longer to dry because it's thicker, but those are areas where I have bigger pores, and what it's doing is it's going in the pores, and then when it dries, it's gonna take all the dirt and oil and suck it right out when you rinse it off and wash it off. It's super amazing. And this is a wet patch. I applied that pretty heavy, and I applied it heavier here because, you know, that's a problem area for me. But oh my gosh, you guys, look, it's like literally little dots. It looks like I have freckles. Look at that. Sucking up all the garbage. Yeah, my skin was really bad today because the last few days we've been outside playing and we don't have any grass in our backyard. Right now, we just moved in a couple months ago, and the whole back needs to be resodded, which we're not gonna do right now. We're trying to let the little patches of grass grow. So we've been playing out back, and you come in, we're so dirty. So that's what I feel like. No matter how many times I wash my face, it's still dirty from being outside playing with my kids, because, you know, we're on lockdown and that's all that we do around here. I also am really interested to know what all you guys have been doing during the lockdown. Okay, starting to dry. Okay. I'm actually gonna dab that a little bit more because it's a lot worse than I thought. And one of the keys, guys, to having clear skin is to accept the fact that it is never gonna be perfect, because you always have to work at it. So before this whole lockdown, I could spend forever on my face, right? And then now, I look so funny, I look like a clown. Now, can you guys take me seriously? Now that we're back with our kids at home all the time and my husband's working from home, it's like any free moment that maybe I had before doesn't belong to me anymore, belongs to like someone else all the time. So I have slacked big time, just to be honest. I have slacked big time just over the last, I don't know, maybe even a week, because everybody's freaking out and overbuying and grocery shopping and planning and like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? And so my mind has been elsewhere. Obviously, skincare is like a luxury that people take for granted. So I haven't done what I have to do, but you have to remember that it is a work in progress all the time. And you always have to get products that are going to be accepted by your skin. Not everything works for everybody. And that's why almost every product that I have at least 2 variations. And I do that because there are so many skin types out there and there are so many preferences. And when it comes to scent and everything like that, you're never gonna make one thing for everyone. That's just the bottom line. Except for maybe the face cream. That is probably everybody. I don't think I've ever had somebody say they don't like the face cream. It's just crazy. That thing is the most popular. But basically, in your downtime, that used to be your downtime, maybe for your routines or going to the gym, you know, all the gyms are closed. So it's like, what do you do for yourself that is gonna keep things going? And so that's why I decided to do this facial night. And there's always room to try something new. And there's always room for improvement. So I had this great routine. I had it worked out and my skin looked amazing. And then all of a sudden, everything changes and we're playing outside for like hours a day and sweating. And, you know, like I said, our backyard with the dirt and getting dirty on our face and everything. And it's a game changer. My skin is so dry because I'm in the sun and I try, you know, SPF constantly. But it's just different. It's just different. And it's been different for like a week. And so I'm doing it extra just for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video and fast forward because you guys are probably caught up at this point. So go ahead and pause it until your mask is ready to be washed off and clear, and then we can go from there. So it's gonna be, when I say when it's ready, it means all of it is gonna be this pink color. You're not gonna have any more dark spots. That means it's all dry. See you in a minute. Okay guys, I just rinsed off the mask, and just so you all at home, if you are using the rose clay mask so you don't have a panic attack, it's normal for you to look like a little Oompa Loompa-ish at first. That's why with the rose clay mask, I usually actually just go off and take another round. You can do the soap again, or this is where I like to incorporate the cream cleanser. Where's my cream cleanser? Here it is. So this is the cream cleanser. It's literally an oil-based collection of oils and essential oils, along with our one of our plain soaps that is grated into it. And so it's really rich, it's really oily. You're only supposed to use it a couple times a week. And I said oily, but I mean it in a good way. If you have oily skin, it's still for you, I promise. This stuff is amazing. Your skin soaks it up, and it is a version of what I call the skin cycling method. And it's an oil cleanser. So you're taking the oil from this, a beneficial oil, and you're using it to attract dirt and grime out of the pores and remove it and have it pull from the skin by adhering and attracting to the oils in this product. It's amazing. So all you do is you scoop a little bit out, you put it on, you rub it in just like a lotion, and then you wipe it clean. Take like that much. Massage it in like a lotion. It's so nice, guys. It feels so good. It just like soaks up right into your skin. So I'm gonna rinse this off and wipe it off with my towel. Okay. All right, so you're gonna leave your face damp, and the next thing we're gonna do is move on to our cleansing scrub. All right, guys, oh my goodness, I had to just stop for a minute. I had a crazy sneezing attack. But, okay, so I had just washed off the rose clay mask, and now we're gonna move on to the cleansing scrub. So it's actually been about probably 10 minutes. I literally could not stop sneezing for whatever reason. But you see like this glow that's on my skin right now, and that is from the rose clay. I love this mask. It is so amazing, and like, I still have some pore issues right now, but oh my gosh, it's like 100 times better. So let's move on to the cleansing scrub. So I'm gonna re-damp my face. Just a little bit of water. So the biggest thing with the scrubs is that you don't wanna stick your hand in there when your hand's wet. If you're using a sugar scrub, the sugar scrub will get really hard. And the cleansing scrub is a combination of salt and sugar, so it gets really hard, like really, really, really hard as well. So I just dried my hand off before I stuck some in. But I'm gonna take about, if you can see, this much of the scrub. And again, this is the cleansing scrub, so taking a little bit out of it like this lasts a really long time when you're just using it on your face and neck. When I'm in the shower, I'll do my face, neck, upper chest, and I'll actually do like this whole area on my upper back as well, but for the purpose of this video, I'm not gonna do it. I'm actually putting a towel down because I'm not over the sink, so that I can show you this, and it's gonna fall to the floor. So when you're applying it, you wanna lean over the sink, or like I said, when you're in the shower. So I'm gonna apply it a little more delicately than I normally would so that it doesn't, too late, so it doesn't spill all over the floor. I'm gonna keep my hand under, oh my God, this is a mess. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do really is get it all over your face. My husband's gonna kill me. It's literally all over the floor right now. Anything for Wildflower. Oh. Okay, so now that it's on, I'm gonna have to do this over the sink. You're going to literally take in very, very gentle motions like this, circular motions all around the face. And then you're going to want to make sure if you have any open breakouts or cuts or anything like that, you need to avoid those areas. So do not scrub over acne. You're actually gonna spread the bacteria. So just scrub around, don't scrub anything that's open. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this in very gentle motions, only for about 15 seconds. I'll be right back. I just wanted to point out how much oil, see how the water is beating on my face? There's that much oil within the cleanser, so it's so hydrating. Like that. So my face is actually a little bit red and a little bit irritated from my somewhat excessive, I still have scrub on my face, so I'm gonna re-rinse from my somewhat excessive sun exposure today. Just right here where I was wearing a hat, and so like right underneath where my hat probably stopped is where I'm feeling a little bit sore, and it's literally just these two little sections right here on my cheeks. So if at any point in time, depending on your day, if you start to, when you're doing the mask and a scrub and everything back to back, if you start to feel like it's a little bit too much, you're gonna wanna stop and redirect it another day. So I've already made it through all that, and now we're on to the very soothing aspects of the facial. So I'm gonna keep on going, but just for future reference, if you get to the point where during the process you feel like it's just too much for your skin at that moment, just skip over to the soothing aspects. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna apply is the Rose Water Toner. I also have a Lavender Rose Face Mist that's a toner. I have a whole separate videos on toners and why they're so amazing, what they do for your skin. Long story short, they help clear blackheads, they close your pores, and they balance your skin's pH, which helps prevent future breakouts. Not to mention, the ones that I personally make both have anti-aging components. So a lot of people ask, well, do I need it? Well, if you want all those amazing benefits, then yeah, you kind of need it. If you don't really care or you don't really feel like you need those benefits, then you can skip it, but I personally love it. So Rose Water Toner, I'm gonna close my eyes. 1, 2, and 1 for good luck. We actually just re-released the Rose Water Toner in a 2 ounce instead of a 1 ounce because people were going through them quickly and requested a much larger bottle. So we went ahead and doubled it. Okay, so that's gonna soak in. Oh, feels really nice and refreshing. You can actually see, I can feel and I can see the redness going down just a little bit, just from that. The next thing I'm gonna do is the, come on, focus, face oil for anti-aging and anti-wrinkle. And this is amazing. I've used it in a lot of my other tutorials and videos because it is my personal favorite serum. This massage it very gently up through the forehead. You do everything in a circular motion and gently underneath the eyes. I have another video as well about toners and why they're important and what they're good for and how you can customize them to suit your needs. So this is the anti-aging, anti-wrinkle, but I also have a brightening and balancing one. I have a face repair serum that helps with acne scars or any sort of damaging eczema spots or things like that. And then there's also an acne treatment. So whatever your need is, you insert the serum at this stage to be customizable to your routine. And the final step, guys, the Renewal Face Moisturizer. I absolutely love this cream. I'm also very partial, this is pretty thick and like rich, oh, it's so nice. I'm really partial to the face cream because that was my very first like top selling hit product that people couldn't live without. The Renewal Face Moisturizer is made with rose water, so it's just like, oh, it smells so good, and it's almost like a mousse, it's like a whip. So that's what I'm gonna use. Now, I always tell people to use a pea size. My skin, as you see, is red from the sun, which is a big no-no. That is my own mistake. So I'm gonna use about double of what I would suggest, and that's just because I really want it rich on there. And honestly, what I would suggest for you guys, oh, it's like soaking right in, it feels so good. Because you just did a whole step process with the mask and a scrub, and the cleanse and everything else, that you apply it, let it soak in, and then apply it again. The other thing that's really nice too, if you have any way to make, like if you have like a face steam machine, or you can take a hot bowl of water and put a towel over your head and let the steam soak in. You can do that before you do the mask, which is a really nice addition next time around. And then at this point, what you can do is take a clean washcloth, dip it, and you can actually brew tea, like a chamomile tea or an herbal tea that's good for anti-inflammatory and things like that. Let it cool and then dip a washcloth in it so it's cold, like put it in the fridge, and then lay the washcloth over your face like a cold compress, and it'll just close those pores up and let that face cream really soak in. The other suggestion you could use is milk. And milk is so good for the skin, you guys. It's crazy, especially if you have kids that drink whole milk, or you can use like a coconut milk or something that's high in fat. Just as I was saying with that donkey milk that helps rebuild the skin cells, milk is just so good for your skin and it absorbs it right up. So that is the first round of lotion. I'm going to show you a couple ways to massage the skin. So you could do up under the cheekbones, up this way. You know, it makes you look funny, but whatever. So you get right under here, massage up, massage here, up and through the eyes, up and through here. You have to pretend like someone else is doing this, like you're getting a facial. So it feels so nice. And then at the jawline here, massage it up into your ears. Okay. So aside from my sunburn here, or whatever it is, it's so unlike me too. I usually try not to do that. So you could see from the sun right here, my pores are a little bit red and they're a little irritated, so that's definitely no fun. But other than that, I feel like my skin is really soft. It feels so nice. It's glowing. it's just like soaking up this cream, which is so great because it has no chemicals in it, and it's full of some amazing properties that are good to rebuild the skin cells. Again, high in fat. The Renewal Face Moisturizer is part of my Wild Grown collection, which is basically a combination of exotic ingredients that are popular from all different areas around the world that I use to formulate a very short line of a collection of products. And so the Renewal Face Moisturizer, it has oil in there called Babassu oil. It has camelina oil in there, it has emu oil, and these are just really high fat, highly saturated ingredients that you're using just a tiny little bit, and they do so much for the skin. So I know when I started this video, I was like, yeah, let's go facial. But it is such a relaxing experience that at this point, I hope that you can go and just like have a cup of tea or a glass of wine and put your feet up, paint your nails, do something for you, and go to bed early and wake up in the morning. You're gonna feel amazing. I'm so glad that you joined me for this facial night. I hope that it was a fun, relaxing experience, but also a learning experience so that you can utilize your products to the best. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me at wildflowerbeautybyjessica@gmail.com or through our website at wildflowerbeautybyjessica.com. And stay tuned for some other videos coming your way. So go ahead and follow our channel, subscribe so that you don't miss anything, and leave your comments below. And thank you so much for joining me. Be well, stay safe, and I hope during this lockdown and quarantine, you guys don't get too stir crazy. But feel free to do this full routine 2 times a week. If you wanna do it more than that, you can. You just wanna cut back on the mask and the scrub if you start to feel dry. So have a good evening.